Okay, so before we get into this video, I just want to say yes, this video will contain spoilers for Tokyo Revengers all the way up to chapter 223. So if you don't want to get spoiled, you might want to kick off the video. Also, shout out to Alvin Velasco who commented this on my final arc of Tokyo Revengers video, as their comment is actually going to be the main point of discussion for today's video. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them. And I initially planned to make this video before the release of chapter 222, which was a while ago. So this is kind of like my review for the last few chapters and my thoughts for the future all in one. I think that this outcome of Takemichi creating his own gang is very possible in the near future, and I have some ideas and thoughts that I wanted to contribute to it. And even though I do make videos on Tokyo Revengers, I wouldn't say I'm very conscious of all the theory crafting and discussions the community might have. So if this has been said before, or someone's made a video similar to this one, I'm speaking purely from my perspective. With that being said, if you've been watching my videos in the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as literally 99% of you who are watching aren't subscribed, and it only takes 2 seconds. Also, it would help me out greatly. But let's get right into the video. So as I said in my most recent videos, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos just freestyling and just off the dome. So I have quite a few points here that I really wanted to say that would give life to this theory or this point that Alvin made. So with the Tokyo Revengers gang, it doesn't necessarily have to be called the Tokyo Revengers, but I think it'd be very fitting because we are currently in the situation within the last few chapters where we don't know whether Draken's dead or alive. With chapter 223, at the very end, we saw Draken reminiscing on his life, how he was with the Toman members, basically just like flashbacks you usually get before you die. And then we did see Emma grabbing his hand and then him basically following her, which is pointing towards him dying, unfortunately, but we do have to wait until I see like a confirmed he's dead. Honestly, I just don't know. So we do know that Draken could possibly die or get hospitalized. For that reason alone, I think if the gang was to be called Tokyo Revengers, if Takemichi created his own gang, this would be absolutely amazing because like they're getting revenge for Draken, because obviously Draken's died, and the name would just be absolutely crazy. With the whole situation of Draken dying being the premise of my points, I believe that if he was to die, there's no way that the old Toman members would not get involved, because what happened this arc, or like the end of last arc, we found out that Takemichi came back into the future. No, he came back into the past 10 years. And all the Toman members, Shifuyu, Parchin, Mitsuya, they're all, and Hakai as well, and the others, they're all like pursuing their path. So Takemichi didn't want to get any of them involved. He didn't want to get Shifuyu involved, and Shifuyu's his guy, man. Like he is his right hand man. So the fact he didn't want to get him involved just shows the type of like goal Takemichi was going for. But I feel that with a death as big as Draken's, there's no way that the old Toman members wouldn't get involved. And then just having the whole gang being called Tokyo Revengers, because it's like they're getting revenge for Draken, and then they're like the Tokyo Manji members except Mikey, because obviously he's in the Kanto Manji gang. It would just be absolutely amazing. It would just make so much sense if that happens. And yeah, again, shout out to Alvin, but I'll just add in my little bit on that. And then if Takemichi was to create his own gang, I think that's just really wrapping around what's been said throughout every single arc in the series, or at least through the majority of the series. We've heard this multiple times, that Takemichi was similar to Shinichiro being Mikey's brother. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone said it. Baji said on his deathbed that Takemichi reminded him of Shinichiro. Draken said that he reminded him of Shinichiro. Even Mikey said he reminds you of his brother. So it's just like Takemichi finally becoming a leader of a gang, and this would be the same gang which we know would end up defeating the Kanto Manji gang or winning the War of the Three Deities. Well, it depends how Mikey wants to end this series, but hopefully if it ends in a good way that Takemichi ends up defeating Mikey, it would just make so much sense. It'd be completely poetic. And obviously we know Takemichi is similar to Shinichiro in the sense that they're both weak, but he has great influence. And then it would also be like, if he defeats them without Brahman, because obviously he doesn't really have any more incentive to be in it, especially with Draken's death. If he was to create his own gang and defeat Mikey, it would kind of be like Shinichiro being Mikey, which would be absolutely great, because Mikey has said on multiple occasions throughout the series, we know he has his dark impulses that he gives into and stuff like that. It's like when all these people in his life ended up dying, so Baji, Emma, Shinichiro's like the main one. It's like he's gone off his path. Like he even said, I think it was it after the Black Dragon? I can't remember if it was before or after the Black Dragon's incident. He was saying to Takemichi, like put me in my place, like my big brother would basically. So like Takemichi taking on that role, which would be similar to Shinichiro having his own gang and then defeating Mikey. It would kind of be like Shinichiro defeating him and scolding him and putting him on the right path for good. So I feel like that would be something that could definitely happen. And then also you could even say that if Takemichi was defeating him, and obviously since Takemichi's like Shinichiro, it kind of be like enough reason for Mikey to decide to change his ways or realize that he doesn't necessarily have to do what he was doing, because it's like he based his whole dream of wanting to make the greatest gang or take over the country because of his brother. And now like Takemichi, who's like the embodiment of his brother in a sense, is defeating him. It kind of make him realize that he doesn't need to do what he's doing. He doesn't need to go down this path anymore. And like there's someone there for him, because Mikey's lost a lot. I always say this, Mikey's lost a lot. So I do understand why he becomes the way he does and why he does what he does. But yeah. Okay, another thing I want to talk about was, given this scenario of Draken's potential hospitalization or death, him creating his own gang would definitely be valid, because it would be a means to protect Senju. And I'm not saying that him protecting Senju is his #1 priority. It's not. But by him leaving Brahman, Senju would be alive, and she's like a good ally. I don't know if she'd want to join his gang, if he created his own gang, if she wanted to join. But I feel like she's such an important piece in this final arc to actually defeat the Kanto Manji gang. Because in the 3 Deities, the original timeline, obviously she got killed. In the situation we're in right now, where Draken is now close to death, it was her who ended up getting killed. And we don't know what would have happened if she was alive. We know she's insanely strong. She could have been that piece that may have changed the timeline in the original time. She was alive. If she was alive during the battle of the 3 Deities, when it all went down, she might have been able to, I'm not saying she's going to stop Mikey, I don't believe that, but I feel like she might have been able to make stuff way more difficult. And now that Takemichi's here and already changing the timeline as it is, she could be a very important piece. So yeah, he definitely have to leave Brahman, and if he leaves Brahman, then he'd have to create his own gang. And then another reason why him creating his own gang would be absolutely insane or absolutely necessary is because I'm no time travel expert, but I believe that would be enough to absolutely change the events of the 3 Deities timeline. We know that the 3 Deities, after the end of the whole battle, Mikey ends up creating Bonten and all the other gangs disbanded and stuff. But if you have another gang, so you have Rokuhara Tandai, you have Brahman, you have Kanto Manji, and then you have the Tokyo Revengers. Remember, that's not necessarily the name, but that's just what we're hoping for the name to be. You have this 4th gang introduced into the battle of the 3 Deities, being led by Takemichi. There's no way that can't mess up the timeline, because that's a whole other entity that wasn't supposed to be there originally, taking part in the war or taking part in the battle. And as I said, this would be built up with Toman members, because of obviously they want to get revenge for what happened to Draken. Because Draken, everyone liked Draken. Like Draken was a big brother figure to everyone in the gang. Like he was reliable. There's just no way that if he actually kicks the bucket or even goes to the hospital, like I feel like hospitalization for Draken is enough. There's no way that people wouldn't get involved, and they would definitely follow under Takemichi, especially because he's proved himself time and time again. And then another thing I was thinking, which isn't really, I wouldn't say this is like concrete. This is more like a you just take it as you see it thing. This is just like what I was thinking. Senju did say that to stop the Kanto Manji gang, or in the battle of the 3 Deities, the Kanto Manji isn't necessarily her goal, but she was saying she was going to leave it to Draken and Takemichi. And now Draken, no matter what, is not going to be able to participate. It's either he's going to die or he's not going to be able to participate in the battle regardless. So it's like Takemichi won't necessarily be able to do it himself. And then it would just be enough reason for some of the old Tokyo Manji gang members to be joining him on his goal to stopping Mikey now. Which would already be just like tying into the whole Draken revenge plot type thing. And yeah, I mean, in regards to me actually giving reasons for this to happen, those are my main points. But I feel like in regards to the Shinichiro point I gave, with obviously Takemichi being like Shinichiro, which has been highlighted many times throughout the series, I think that the gang itself wouldn't necessarily be insanely powerful. Yeah, we probably get people like Shifuyu, Mitsuya, but this is what I really, really want to see. That assuming Wakari goes down this path, this is what I really want to see. They did say that Shinichiro was very influential. He wasn't strong, but he had the influence to lead all of these crazy gang members, all these delinquents, all these strong people, right? So what I'm hoping to see, I remember what I said in my final arc of Tokyo Revengers video, there's people like Hanma, we don't know what part they're going to play in this arc. But imagine we finally get something like, because Kanto Manji gang is a big problem. Big problem. Like we already know that if Takemichi was to create his own gang, Brahman would probably side with him, Rokuhara Tandai as a problem, and then Kanto Manji, they're going to be a problem, especially given what's happening to Draken. And Mikey finds out, I don't know how he's going to act. So imagine we get people like Hanma joining the Tokyo Revengers gang or Takemichi's gang, and then even someone like Taiju Shiba, because Takemichi defeated Kisaki, right? And Kisaki, Hanma looked up to Kisaki. So maybe that'd be reason for him to believe that him siding with Takemichi would be like another good source of entertainment. I don't know, I'm just saying. But then with Taiju was literally the person who changed, no sorry, Takemichi was literally the person who changed Taiju, which would just be, it would just be absolutely poetic, because Takemichi is not a strong person, we know this. But the way his character has been portrayed throughout every single arc of this show, it does literally would make so much sense if all these people that he's defeated in the past would join him for this, because he's changed a lot of people. Like his way with words, his philosophy, the way he carries himself, the way he doesn't give up, it's touched a lot of people. So even if someone like Hakai Shiba or no sorry, not Hakai. So even if someone like Taiju or Hammer joined the gang enough, I feel like that would just be insane power for them. But I don't know, man. This is just something that was on my head. Shout out to Alvin Velasco again. He really just like spurred this up, and then I was like thinking on it. I was gonna script out the whole thing, but then I just thought it'd be better if I just say everything that's on my mind in regards to this. But what do you guys think? I do think that this would be a very good direction for the show to go in. But then again, this final arc is very unpredictable. No one could have predicted that Draken would be potentially on his deathbed right now or dead. And if he does die or hospitalization, one of the two, that's definitely enough for this to be a plausible argument for something to happen in the future, man. And yeah, these chapters have been absolutely insane. Again, if you do enjoy these type of videos, these discussion type videos where we're just like doing whatever, going back and forth, then do be sure to comment and let me know what your thoughts are on the latest chapters. What do you think about this whole theory? I guess this counts as a theory. What do you think about it? Do you think it could potentially happen? Do you think there'd be any reasons for it not to happen? There may be some flaws that I overlooked or anything like that. Just let me know in the comment section and we can get a discussion going. And also, if you do like these videos, make sure to like, subscribe. As I said earlier, 99% of you who watch these videos literally aren't subscribed, which is crazy, and it really helped me out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.